For latest updates and short audio clips, follow us on Instagram, Reading the Author.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast Reading the Author, a unique show where we read authors' mind and not their book. Meanwhile, I truly feel and pray that you and your families are completely safe and healthy as well. Guys, today we have Rinita Malhotra Hora ma'am with us, and she is the author of altogether 9 books. Thank you so much ma'am for coming on our show. I'm truly grateful कि आपने हमारे शो को चुना.
थैंक यू गौरव जी. मैं भी बहुत खुश हूँ टू बी ऑन योर पॉडकास्ट. आई हैव बीन लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू इट ऑल थ्रू द वीकेंड.
Pleasure ma'am. So ma'am, like before we get into the podcast and हम आपकी किताबों के बारे में, आपके आने वाले कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स के बारे में जाने, I would request you to please introduce yourself so that our listeners can know much more about you, and do share how you started this writing journey as well.
ये तो काफी कठिन क्वेश्चन है. एक्चुअली क्वेश्चन काफी आसान है. द आंसर आई हैव टू थिंक अबाउट. एक्चुअली आई एम फ्रॉम मुंबई. मैं यहीं पैदा हुई थी, यू नो, many years ago. It seems like the days of the dinosaurs. So I did my schooling here. I grew up here, you know. And कॉलेज के लिए मैं शिफ्ट हो गई अमेरिका को. So I did my higher studies in America. And to say when I got into writing, matlab, since the time I was a child, I have had an interest. I've had an interest in literature. I've had an interest in writing. You know, as a young child, when you ask them these questions, what would you like to be, you know, when you grow up? तो उस वक्त मैं हमेशा ही बोलती थी कि मुझे किताबें लिखना है. किताबें पढ़ती हूँ अभी, और आगे जाकर मुझे किताबें लिखना है. Nobody would take me seriously. अच्छा ये है जो ऐसे ही बोलती है, you know, she'll forget about it, she'll do something decent. But that sort of stuck with me. I never got out of that, you know, mindset, if you will.
Okay.
And although my early career jobs were in marketing, advertising, things like that, you can say that right from the very beginning, everything that I have done from a career standpoint has been storytelling in one way, shape or form. So iska matlab ye hai ki writing, and part of writing as communication and writing as a daily practice and storytelling through narrative has been part of either my professional life or my personal life, and frankly a mix of both right from the very get-go. Right? So after college I found myself in the US, and then I lived in Asia. You know, once I got married, I lived in Asia and the US as well, aage piche, over the course of the last 30 years. And it was about, you know, a good 20 years or so ago that I wrote my first book. So, you know, between books, I was a journalist. I write screenplays abhi. So, you know, storytelling is what I do.
So, ma'am, in this podcast, we will be particularly talking about your book, Ace of Blades, this life story of the Blade King of India. So, talking from a new reader's perspective, like after listening to this podcast, many people will just love to explore this book. So, talking from a new reader's perspective, what a new reader can expect from your book? Can you share some insights with us?
A new reader, matlab a reader who is not familiar with the razor blade industry or with leadership books, or a reader when you say a new reader?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm specifically talking about a person who is about to just buy this book, you know, out of curiosity, out of that, they want to just know a glimpse of this book so that they can just move ahead with it. Yeah.
This is a book which is technically non-fiction. I say technically, matlab it is non-fiction. But the reason I use the word technically is because once you pick it up, it reads like fiction. You feel that you are immersed in a fictional, or at least in a narrative. It's not fictional, but it is literary non-fiction. That is the style that I have used to write this book. Because I wanted to immerse people in the world of RK, the Ace of Blades. As a character, you know, I sort of had the advantage, if you will, and also it was very difficult. लेकिन मैंने उनकी मतलब असली जीवन से उनको मतलब कॉपी पेस्ट किया उनकी कहानी. Matlab, it was happening in real life. I saw a lot of this in front of my own eyes because the protagonist, the main character, was my father, was my father. He's not with us anymore. Yeah. And he hand-built India's razor blade industry with his own 2 hands. So, I had been after his story for many, many years. And he was not ready to give it to me. बोलता रहता था कि अभी नहीं, when I'm ready, तो मैं बताऊंगा, समय आएगा, some bahana or the other, And October 2020, mid-COVID pandemic, जो मतलब चल रही थी, that is actually the last time I saw him in person. And उस वक्त, I was living in America, he was living in Mumbai, and we had to meet halfway in England, which after, almost 2 years of pandemic, मैं अपने माता पिता से मिली नहीं थी. And then मेरे भाई ने कहा, चलो, I'm going to arrange this, it'll be good for you all, you meet. And उस वक्त मतलब on day 2, he just started talking. And I thought, okay, this is a sign from God. This is a sign that the universe is aligning. He's finally ready to talk. What I didn't know was that would be the last time I would actually see him in person. He was with us for another 6-7 months after that. And I got about 14 and a half hours of tape. And the stories are so dynamic. Of course, I knew many of these stories already, but now getting them straight from him to then put down,
Exactly.
I still have to piece together in an organized format. That was very difficult.
Sure.
लेकिन उस वक्त पब्लिशर जो थे सभी बोल रहे थे कि दिस इज ग्रेट मटेरियल फॉर अ बिजनेस बुक. उस वक्त मैं ब्लूमबर्ग के लिए काम कर रही थी. मेरी नौकरी वहां थी, फॉर ब्लूमबर्ग यूएसए, हांगकांग एंड देन यूएसए. एंड I know how they treat business books in India. It's like a business report. It's like something you read in Business India or, Economic Times or, nothing wrong with that style, but that works very well for a newspaper or for a magazine or for a short article or a long article. But इनकी कहानी जो थी इतनी dynamic थी, not just about the razor blades and the processing and the product and, the sales, the marketing of that, but पूरी मतलब family story है, क्योंकि this was a family business. And so the intrigue, the dysfunction, the people getting along, the people not getting along, the pressure it puts on the man. This is a bipolar man with mental health issues, very clearly undiagnosed in those days, जो अभी हमें मालूम है, ज़्यादातर about bipolarity और ये दूसरे mental health जो है. लेकिन उस वक्त उस जमाने में कुछ मालूम ही नहीं था, डायग्नोज नहीं किया गया था. तो it's just that here's a man who's shouting, he's in control. It was a different outlook. So when I put it together, it went into auction. There were 3 different publishers who wanted to publish this. The one that I thought, the one that was at that time my top publisher, said to me, Rinita, आप एक काम कीजिए, can you please rewrite this like a Bloomberg business report? आप Bloomberg में काम करते, you know what I'm talking about. Exactly. And I said, why? And they said, ये scenes जो है, ये dialogues जो है, then it reads, it's like a Bollywood movie. And I said, this is the story of this man's life. And the other 2 publishers loved it just because it was that, because it really made it stand apart from other leadership books, business books, things like that. Right? So, and I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to change it, because it's I work in this field every day. I know. I mean, this is, if you feel like you're reading what you read in the paper every day, I mean, what is more boring than that? So, इनकी ये USP है कि it serves the non-fiction, the business, the leadership, the MBA, the marketing, whatever, that kind of reader perfectly with its content. And for the reader of fiction who is simply interested in the stories of these crazy, dynamic, flawed characters who are presented with an untoward set of circumstances, how are they going to get through life and get through this, then it serves their purpose too. Because like I said, it's a corporate thriller, but what's thrilling about it is the kind of crazy situations this man had to face, which when I write fictional narratives, we have to think about creating those. Over here, they were created, ready-made.
Definitely. Okay. So, ma'am, like, as you have written 9 books till now, and as we talked about from the perspective of a new reader, now coming to the person who will be listening to a podcast and they have read a book, because we will be sharing on social media as well. So definitely the people who have already read a book, they might be listening to this podcast. So as of now, what they can expect from you? Like, are you writing something? You want to stick to these genres only, or you want to experiment a bit on some others too? What's in the pipeline? And is there anything in the pipeline?
There is lots in the pipeline. मेरे pipeline में तो हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ ही है, I should say, because I am a bored human being. तो मैं दिन भर बैठ नहीं सकती हूँ. I have to be writing, I have to be creating. New stories are constantly coming forth. So to say there's one thing in the pipeline would be dishonest even. And the pipeline is interesting क्योंकि आपके जो मतलब listeners है वो सोच रहे हैं कि इसके बाद क्या आएगा, ये मतलब author क्या लिखेगी. Actually ऐसे नहीं होता है. Already लिखा गया है काफी 2-3 books, at least a few different screenplays, already done. They might be waiting, or they might be in the edit phase, or they might be, need revisions or जो भी है, मतलब in process. And what I'm day-to-day working on are the new material, which you probably won't even see for a few. I don't know, publishing industry is very slow. So I don't want to say 4 or 5 years, but you never know with this industry, right? So, is there stuff in the pipeline? There's absolutely a lot in the pipeline. There's always stuff in the pipeline. Now, as to what, जो आपने पहले कहा, what genres? Is it one genre? Is it more than one genre? मेरे लिए genre जो है, I define genre a little bit differently. I live in America. I live in California. So when people ask me, I always say I write stories that reflect the South Asian experience, and I write them across comedy, fantasy, historical fiction, and non-fiction.
Okay.
That is my answer, because I, like I said earlier, I'm a bored human being. I don't stick to one genre because I feel that as writers, we need to challenge ourselves to stay interested, be interested, develop our writing, offer what the different genres require, and not just become this formulaic, मतलब I just do thriller case, मेरे से सिर्फ मतलब thrillers, किए गए हैं, or romances, or comedy, or comedy, of course, not easy, and there's different kinds of comedy, but something like romance. I've written a lot of romances, but I'll be honest, there's a formula. A romance must happen, must end with happily ever after, or happy for now. So then to me, then I'm constantly, challenging myself कि अभी और क्या लिखूं मैं. It's like, to me it becomes, I don't want to write the same book in different packaging. So there are a few different genres, and I enjoy that because it forces me to sort of think creatively. My book, Vermilion Harvest, Playtime at the Bagh, is the overall grand prize winner of the Chanticleer International Book Awards. That is a literary fiction award. When I started writing that book, I thought I was writing young adult. I knew it was historical fiction, but I thought I was writing young adult because the characters were 18 and 19 years old. And what we're told, the textbook rules, that we're told is, well, for when you're writing young adult, or when your characters are in their teens, that means you're writing young adult. So automatically मैं वैसे ही सोच रही थी. It ended up winning a literary fiction award. So you don't even know, what you're writing, how it's going to be considered.
Exactly.
My fantasy books that I'm writing, I am thinking that they are for younger audiences. I mean, I don't even want to use the word children, because when I talk about it to sort of, young adults and adults, I'm finding that the interest is really coming from an adult audience. When is that book coming? When is that book coming? But in my head, I was thinking he's a young boy. You know?
Super, ma'am. Like, here comes my next question. Like, as you shared, like, we don't know like how the book gonna cater to the audience once it's publishing. Then only we can just move ahead with it. So here comes my next question, ma'am. Like, I am in this industry for more than 10 years as of now, and we are doing this podcast for more than 5 years, and in this Feb we completed our 5th year. So personally, I have been in contact with more than 450 to 500 authors roughly. And what I have closely seen that they want to be known or remembered, like most of them are trying to be known or remembered as a certain genre or certain type of author. So when it comes to you talking from a personal branding perspective, let's say, what image you want to create on that reader's mind when they pick your book? Like, अगर आज से 1-2 साल बाद आपकी कोई नई किताब आती है एंड एक आपके एग्जिस्टिंग रीडर ने उस किताब को उठाया कि ओके इट्स अ न्यू बुक बाय रिनीता मैम, तो उसके माइंड में क्या वो सडन थॉट आना चाहिए कि मैम की बुक है, इस बारे में होगी, इस टॉपिक पे होगी, इस तरीके से लिखी गई होगी, मुझे ये फील होगा? कभी सोचा इन सब चीजों के बारे में फ्रॉम दैट पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग पर्सपेक्टिव मैम?
Sure, my personal branding is something that we are told to think about all the time. Dekhiye, my answer is going to be a little bit different probably from any of the 400-500 authors you've talked to before. I am an Indian person, और जैसे मैं बोल रही हूँ भी is a unique way, because an Indian person would never say I am an Indian person. मतलब an Indian person inside India is not going to identify themselves as an Indian person. Everybody else is also an Indian person. The reason I say this is because I, on one hand, am born and bred in Bombay as opposed to Mumbai, because I was born in Bombay and grew up in Bombay, you know.
But you returned to Mumbai now.
Hanji, I returned to Mumbai, and this is actually a very valid point that you bring up. Return to Mumbai, because I went abroad. I am an immigrant. I live in America. But I returned to Mumbai, as you said. And I'm very, very happy and comfortable returning to Mumbai, because this is the center of my universe. You know, home is a very, for me, it's not about a physical place. It's about where your soul feels peaceful and happy. And for me, that is here. And for me, the stories come from here. And I always say I identify as a Mumbaikar, or actually a Bombayite first, and an Indian second, and a Punjabi third, you know, in that order. Why is this relevant to my writing and me as an author and my personal branding? Because I have this very weird situation where I have one foot inside India and one foot in, abroad, outside India, in America, and specifically in America, let's say. So on one hand, I'm the native. On the other hand, I'm the immigrant. On one hand, I am the child growing up in India. On the other hand, I am the parent of first generation Indian Americans, which is an entirely different breed of humanity. Arey, main kya batau, you know. So I understand, because I have seen close at hand, firsthand, their struggles, their identity crisis, their issues that they are dealing with. I understand that the reading audience within the boundaries of India, again, is quite a different breed of humanity than the Indian diaspora audience that you will find in America and frankly around the world. And UK Indians are different, Australian Indians are different. True. Non-Indians reading Indian literature are different. So I understand all those different responses and reactions. And I am writing for those people. And you can't just... So Operation Mom, I'm going to give you an example, is a book that I wrote. It is set in contemporary Mumbai. It is a comedy, young adult, mother-daughter craziness, dysfunction, very funny. तो बिल्कुल मुंबई में मुंबई जोक्स, मुंबई इनसाइड स्लैंग, urban vocabulary, जो is probably not going to work in rural India because it's so Mumbai urban. But when I decided to write a screenplay for this, for the book to film crossover, I decided consciously not to set it in Mumbai. So I took the same story and I set it in New Jersey in America, in the Indian American diaspora.
Okay.
So matlab, it changes because now, when you're writing comedy, the context changes, the situation has
True,
to change,
true.
the inside jokes have to change because the context doesn't pertain to Mumbai anymore, right? So over here now
Agree
you've got
on
an
that.
immigrant mother, exactly, and her first generation daughter, and there's comedic dysfunction. The jokes have to resonate with the Gen Zers of America, whether they're Indian or not Indian. So it has to change.
True.
So again, this is, suffice it to say, a very complicated way of coming back to answer your very simple question about personal branding, is that I really write stories that reflect the South Asian experience. I choose these words South Asian, which is not what an Indian inside India would say.
Agree on that.
And I do so because depending upon the story I'm writing at the time, it's not one size fits all, but depending upon which story I'm focused on, it either is targeted towards the Indian in India, or it is targeted towards the reader outside of India, focusing on South Asian life, mostly in America. So it depends. So I hope that helps. Very complicated answer to a simple question.
So, ma'am, like, what's your writing schedule? Every day you devote some particular hours to your writing, or it's like random, someday you get some thought, you just jot it down on your phone in your diary. How does it goes with you?
I write every day. I write every single day. मतलब मैं बेचैन हो जाती हूँ if I don't write. It's just like लोग बोलते हैं कि अगर मैं जिम ना जाऊँ, अगर मैं सहर ना करूँ, whatever it is that they do in a day, they become बेचैन. For me, it's writing. I have to writing, and I get irritated and grumpy if somebody disturbs me. Okay, my husband, I love him very much, but he'll definitely come in and say, "Acha jharu hai ghar mein? Do we have some food? Acha orange juice hai?" So these things, because writing is a difficult, when I say difficult, means some days you're more efficient, some days it takes you time to get into the zone. Sometimes the zone from the outside, if you're looking in, you might think, what is she doing? She's just sitting in her chair. She's not writing, she's staring into space, because so much of it is
looking for something.
What is going yes, and how you're going to tackle the story, not just the story, a particular scene, a particular issue that a character has, whatever it might be, right?
True.
What I don't do is set this schedule of it must be from 5 to 7 or 6 to 8. वो मैं नहीं करती हूँ. I used to do something like that actually earlier in my life, before COVID, when I had a full-time job and I was writing in the hours of the day on the side of my job, right? Since COVID, I took a decision once I hit the age of 50. I said, I am going to quit my job, lock, stock and barrel, and I'm going to go full-time into focusing on my IP. My IP meaning my books, my audio, my screenplays, jo bhi hai. And because of that, now I write not on a schedule, but I have the whole day. Of course, you've got meetings and things, so even as I say that. But I write around all of that. I write every single day, and then I'll stop, I'll go for a walk, I'll go for a swim, I'll come back, I'll write some more. I like writing. I like living in my writing cave, my writing silo, more than anything else in life. Because to me, the world in my head is way more interesting than my real life. And so, लोग पूछते रहते हैं कि oh my gosh, Rinita, अभी तक आप काम कर रहे हो, you're still working. It's not working for me. I don't know what is working anymore, what is relaxation, or what is creative, or it's just all so hopefully that helps. I do write every single day though. That I have to do.
Okay. So I'm there's a lot of other questions to ask you as of now, but we will definitely keep that for some other episode. Probably my last question to you of this podcast, because we have a little time constraint for this episode, will be that after listening to this podcast, it might be possible that many new people start writing, or they might be holding their first draft in the laptop, in the diary, in their notebook. So what would be your advice for those upcoming authors?
मेरा सबसे बड़ा, सबसे महत्वपूर्ण एडवाइस यही है कि when something comes into your head, write it down. Write it down. उसके लिए, my advice is to keep a small notebook. I'm old school, so I'll say a notebook, pen and paper, but maybe it's your phone. I've started doing notes on my phone, in the notes app or something like that. But I say write it down, because if you don't write it down, it's out of your head, you're doing something else, and then later on you'll be wondering, what was it? I had an idea, I can't remember what it was, or I can't remember the detail of what it was. And this is important at any age, at any stage. Please don't think, abhi I'm young, abhi main jawan hu, I'll remember. We have so much going on in our lives. I don't care how old we are or how young we are. There's so much going on in a day that, your mind is just literally attacked by things you have to do, and taxes and bills to pay, and and wo family. Naturally, this is life. We have to juggle it all. That's why I say, if an idea comes to your head, it might be very small. Sometimes for me, it's just like even listening. I'm talking to Gaurav, and it's the way Gaurav said something, or Gaurav ki behan ne kuch kaha, or the way she said it, or what she said. And, it just triggers an idea for, a character or a conversation or something. Something maybe not even that I'm working on, but just an idea that I want to write down, because it'll come in handy sometime later. I must write it down, and I must write it down right now. So I go back to these notes, and sometimes, if you look at that notebook of mine, you'll just think, what is this random nonsense that she has? There's no organization. But these are just little snippets that I've picked up along the way, and I'll read through every once in a while, and sometimes I'll pick something out. This is exactly what this character would do or say, or the predicament that he or she would be in, to work his way out of, or whatever it might be. So I would say, yes, absolutely write it down in whatever way works for you, on your phone, in a notebook, whatever works for you.
Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you must have enjoyed this lovely and inspiring conversation with Renita ma'am. And if you do, then do follow our podcast, Reading the Author, available on all the leading podcast platforms. And don't forget to buy and read the book. आप just Amazon पे जाएं, सर्च रिनीता मल्होत्रा होरा मैम की बुक्स आ जाएंगी. जरूर खरीदें, पढ़ें, और अपने चाहने वाले, जानने वालों के साथ जरूर शेयर करें. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on our show. It was my honor to be able to host you today.
Thank you, Gaurav ji. Such a pleasure. I hope to be back again.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.